Hey, thank you for joining us. This is Alex Van and
Mark Guerra.
Margetta, and we are with, we're actually called Gravity Film.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, we are.
Are we?
We might change that later, but that's, for the sake of this episode,
determined.
we'll call it Gravity Film.
Okay.
And this is episode 1 of Gravity Film. This is basically a review of the movie Gravity by Alfonso
Cuarón.
Shit, I can't pronounce his last name. Whatever. So two of us, we're gonna review the film. The format of this whole episode is pretty straightforward. We're gonna talk about a little about the film. We're gonna talk about how we saw the film, and obviously, do we like it? We didn't like it. We have any problem with the film? And at the end, we're gonna see if we can we're gonna tell you we're gonna recommend the film or not. Anyways, let's get started. And here is the trailer for it. That's where I cut and I put the trailer in.
Okay.
Okay, anyways.
Are you actually gonna put the whole thing?
Probably like 30 seconds of it.
Okay.
Anyway, so there you go. That's 30 seconds of the trailer. Oh, and I obviously I should warn you that this review contains a lot of spoilers. So, with that in mind, let's get started with it. Actually, before that, let's do some background. Why we're doing this, and since it's the first episode, this is probably the only time we're gonna do it. I love films. I grew up just watching a lot of them. And Mark, anyways, I watched a lot of them. I actually do make film, but that's just on a side project. I own something called a movie pass, which I swear we're gonna sponsor. We're gonna have a movie pass sponsors or something. Anyways, it allows us to watch like a limited set of like one movie a day. We got it when it first came out, so it was $25 for us. But anyways, Mark, what about you? Now's a good time to say something, man.
I'm gonna edit this part.
Whatever, dude. Yeah, this is part we're gonna start laughing. Do you grow up watching film?
Yeah, we're gonna edit this part out though.
Sure. Well, Mark doesn't know that this is a sweetie version of the style podcast, so nothing's edited out.
What?
Keep going, man.
We're editing this part out.
Anyway.
I wasn't ready. I mean, I'm not really like a movie buff. I'm just kind of an average guy that just enjoys good films.
Okay. By good film, do you mean like blockbuster films, or like do you?
I do enjoy blockbuster films.
And what about independent films?
I do like independent films if they have a compelling and original storyline. Yeah.
Okay, so when you go watch movies, what do you look for?
I just look for movies that are original and have good storylines, I guess, good cinematography.
Okay. Let's see. As for me, I enjoy all films. I actually, I think I might be less critical than Mark in this one. I actually watch just a lot of pretty much everything. Comedy, drama, blah, 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 superhero movie.
Yeah, I can't watch movies that have bad ratings.
Yeah, so...
I just feel like I don't want to waste 2 to 3 hours of my day.
Just watching it?
Watching some 5 out of 10 rated film.
Okay, so for you, you are the kind of guy who goes on, who actually watch the trailers first, and then you go on maybe Rotten Tomatoes or Yahoo Film to see the rating before watching it then.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm a little bit different. I'm the kind of guy who would do that, but not all the time. I'll sometimes just go and watch a random movie. I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Unless it's so bad that it's worth watching.
One of those, you mean like Birdemic Part 2? Shout out to Tuan Lu right now. He's our friend. Maybe he'll join us. Oh yeah, before I forgot.
Or The Room.
Oh, The Room. Apparently, I haven't seen The Room. I should one day though.
Yeah, you should.
Anyways, we're gonna go talk about the format of the film. Oh, sorry, we did talk about the format of the film, but I forgot to mention one thing. So what makes us a little bit different from other film review is this is sort of informal, like sort of. Obviously, we're not like crazy film buff. So this is more like for the average man or the average Joe or woman. Well, it's whatever, dude. It's just we're just doing it for fun. And one other thing is that when we go watch film, we actually the moment we get out of the theater, we actually review the film there without spoiler, but except for the first film because we actually said some stuff, and that is well to me is a good way to review film, because the moment you get out of it, it's like you have an opinion about it already. Or to me, I do always have an opinion about whether I like it or not, and I'll tell you right there if I like it or not. Because afterward, things comes in like friends, influence.
It's a very raw opinion.
Yeah, so that maybe that's the difference between this podcast versus another is that, we tell you about the film the moment we get out of the theater, and then after that we do a in-depth review of the film, right? So. Anyways, we'll talk more about our likes and dislikes of film maybe in another episode or so. So let's continue about this film. So obviously this film is called Gravity. It's directed by Alfonso Cuarón. Damn it! I swear I can't pronounce it. Is he Spanish?
I
think so. Anyways. It's written by the director and also his younger brother Jonas.
He's Mexican.
So there you go. Summary of the film, pretty simple. All this stuff I got it from IMDb. So the summary of the film is basically a medical engineer and astronaut working together to survive after an accident leaves them adrift in space. Every film has some sort of tagline, So the tagline from this film is "Don't Let Go." It stars Sandra Bullock, or the main star is Sandra Bullock, who plays a character named Ryan Stone. Interesting, like Meg Ryan, I guess. Ryan is a lot. First name? That sounds masculine. Anyways, and George Clooney, who plays Matt Kowalski. It's a drama, sci-fi, thriller film, rated PG-13. The budget for this film is about $100 million, and the runtime is about 90 minutes. So let's get into the film. Anyway, so how do you see? I guess I saw it to Mark and I. We saw it together. So how did we see this film?
With Juan.
And one of our friends, Ton, which you heard in the beginning,
the
preliminary review of the film. We saw this film using our movie pass. We saw it in 3D, not IMAX, although we probably would have to do that sometime. I think I'll probably want to go watch it again in IMAX.
I think it's worth watching again.
It's worth watching. Yeah, of all the reviews I read too, it's worth watching IMAX.
Yeah, because the first time you're just kind of caught up in all the visuals.
Mm-hmm.
So the second time you'll probably pick up on a lot of the details.
Right. So this review is initial. It's not the preliminary, but the initial watching of the film. So I haven't seen this movie again yet. We saw it at about 10:20 p.m. at an AMC theater in Torrance, and there was about 50 people in the theater. And I think this is
more than that.
You think it was more than that?
Yeah.
It's like 100 maybe?
It was almost capacity, I'd say.
Oh wow, really? I guess I was immersed in the film. I didn't even notice that then. It's funny because the reason why we tell you all this is because we want to tell you the location and condition we watch. I think that in general, who you see it with, the crowd that you see it with, and the style, or not the style, the way you see it with matters to the film.
Yeah, you're not gonna watch this on an iPad sitting on a bus.
Right. It just doesn't feel right, I guess.
No, you shouldn't.
You shouldn't, right?
You need to see this in a theater with IMAX and 3D.
Okay. So, Mark, did you like the film, and what did you like about it?
Uh, I love the film.
You love the film? Okay.
It was, I'd say, my favorite film of the year.
Okay, 2013.
Although I haven't really watched too many, I've seen a bunch of the blockbusters, but this was by far the best film I've seen this year.
Okay, in terms of blockbuster film, what have you seen this year?
What was there? Avengers 3, or was it No, Iron Man 3.
Iron Man
sorry.
3. Iron Man 3.
See, I don't even remember what movie.
Fast and Furious?
I actually didn't see that one yet.
Oh, okay. I like that actually.
The Tom Cruise one.
Okay, Oblivion.
Yeah, I saw that. I actually haven't seen that many this year. I missed Elysium.
Elysium, good film.
I missed.
I like that. I don't know why.
I missed that big robot monster.
Pacific Rim.
I missed that.
I also like that film. I don't know other people don't like it.
I don't have a lot to judge by, but I still think even if I saw all of those, this is probably the best film I've seen.
Okay, that's good.
What I liked about it?
Yeah. What did you like about the film?
I guess the first thing you notice is just the visuals, especially if you're watching in 3D.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like you're actually there. You feel like you're just out there floating in space with Sandra Bullock's character.
Okay.
And then just the way the camera swings around from being a third-person view, just to kind of show the scale of the setting, and then kind of transitioning into kind of her own first-person view, just so you get a feeling of what she's feeling. I think he did a good job doing that.
Okay. I actually agree with you on that. You know, everything you say about that. It is an amazingly beautiful film. I mean, it's shot. He's known for that. You know, the director. Amazing cinematography. I mean, it's really good. But I want to get back to you on the idea of it makes you feel as if you're there in space with them. Is that what it feels like?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was reading an article about that in general. So the reason why you feel that is because of the sound, right? Although this film is set in space, there's this
the vacuum of space.
The vacuum of space. You're supposed to not hear anything, right?
Yeah.
So I was reading the article, and I forgot which article I should.
The Verge or something.
Yeah. Same about the part of the Verge.
I didn't read that one yet.
It's good. It's a good article. But apparently the way they made the sound is as if it's sort of from a first person perspective. It's the sound that is made by her breathing, by her clothes when she moves, you know, and the George Clooney voice in her head.
So it's basically the sound that they hear in their spacesuits.
Right. So that's what sets this, in terms of sound at least, this is what sets this film from other films, is because in space you can't really hear anything except for your body or whatever that you imagine.
Just things kind of brushing up against
each
other and bumping.
Right, it's not like Armageddon where everything is like poof, you know, explosive and things like that. So the article is on The Verge right now if you want to read it. I should. Okay, next time.
You could put that in the show notes.
Yeah, maybe, probably. Well, what else did you like about the film? About the storyline.
About the storyline.
Yeah.
Well, can I make one thing I wanted to add about the visuals is there's also just these beautiful scenes where they kind of step back from the characters and then just show the Earth.
Okay.
So you're kind of getting like a planet Earth type view of the planet.
Mm-hmm.
So you're also witnessing the beauty of the planet Earth, of what we call home, which the characters are now so far from.
Okay.
So it kind of gives you also a sense of perspective there.
So, okay. When you saw that one shot, did it make you feel alone or something, or like?
Yeah, that's true. It
like
kind
the
of
scale of the problem. I guess.
It kind of emphasizes how alone the character was, just floating out there in space, with her communications cut to Houston, and with only George Clooney's character there.
Okay.
With her. So it did add to that.
Okay. That's very, very cool. I want to mention some stuff of what I like about the film. Again, beautifully shot, amazing cover photo. It looks like this sort of like space film disaster. Obviously, there's many disasters, but space film disaster stuff like Armageddon hasn't been done before. This is sort of like a realistic film in a way. I feel that like astronaut, like something can happen. Something like this can happen. I also like how the film make me feel personal with the character. I guess it's just maybe because of the way it's shot, and it just haven't been done before. So a little bit known fact: this movie itself, it was in I can't say developmental hell, but it did take a long time. I think 7 years to make or something like that, right? And it's only because the reason why it took that long is because the technology hasn't advanced that far. Supposedly, Alfonso Cuarón, well, he's friend with James Cameron. So when he saw James Cameron film with Avatar and everything, he realized that he can make his film now. Other known fact: this film was there was a lot of people trying out for it. I guess like that before it was attached.
He was trying to get a bunch of actresses to play
the character.
What's the main character's name?
Ryan.
Ryan's role.
Right, Ryan Stone.
So I saw
Natalie Portman was in it,
one,
right?
Jennifer Lopez was another. I don't know how she would have done.
Right. Although it looks like this, he did mention that the film was written for one particular actress, Angelina Jolie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
She wanted him to do it. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And the male actor, I think, Robert Downey Jr. was supposed to do it, but there was a schedule conflict, and now George Clooney came in and did it.
Yeah.
Which
I think Sandra Bullock was.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about her performance?
I mean, her personality from, I guess, just in general. It's kind of down to earth.
Okay.
Humble. Kind of a person that you'd want to meet. So. That's how I felt she portrayed her character. Although she kind of had that emotional side that was kind of repressed.
Okay.
But I thought she played that role brilliantly.
Okay. That's part of my fun.
Yes, I don't know how Angelina Jolie. After seeing Sandra Bullock's performance, I can't imagine Angelina Jolie playing that character, or any of the others that he was shopping the role to.
The movie is so crazy. There's only two characters.
Yeah.
Actually 3, but then the other one died at the beginning, so not really there, and he doesn't really say anything much.
And then you hear Houston for like a
few seconds.
5 minutes.
Yeah, the film is really personal, man.
Yeah.
Obviously, it feels like it's shot in space or something, but it's not. From my understanding, it was shot. A lot of it was CGI. Like I would say 90% it was CGI, and all the other shots it was just a face thing. They just took, George Clooney face or Sandra Bullock face and put it on the astronaut.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's how it was shot.
Was there? I think I saw they also shot a lot of it underwater.
Yeah. At least a space scene, which we'll go back to in a bit about the meaning of the film and things like that.
Okay.
So a couple known facts about the film, and this is so that you can impress all the girls. Sandra Bullock spent 6 months in physical training to prepare for shooting it. So that's cool. Well, there was a scene in which she took off a spacesuit. Do you remember that scene?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And she was in fetus position, and which is a fetal position, which I'll go into a little bit. But she looks pretty amazing in that shot. She looks cool. I can't say she's hot or anything, but
no, she's fit. She's in shape.
Right. She is, I guess. The mission. What else is there? The setting. So I want to talk about that. Is the movie supposed to take place in the future, or right now?
I think it's present.
I don't think it is.
No?
No, I don't think it is. I think it's supposed to be in the future.
Okay.
So
we don't have a space program anymore.
Right.
But I was assuming this is just assuming we still had one.
Right.
So why would you say it's in the future?
It's in the future because I'm reading some facts here. Okay, so check it out.
Okay.
So in the movie, Ryan Stone referred to her mission as STS-157. Okay. So apparently the STS stands for Space Transportation System.
Yeah. So
okay.
I don't remember what the lesson was.
And in real life, we canceled the final space shuttle, right? Was the 35th space mission.
Okay.
So it should have been STS-135.
Okay.
So it's 135 to 157. So that means that
it's like 22 missions later.
Right, 22 missions later.
Yeah.
And you notice that in the movie, it was a Russian was shooting down thing.
Yeah, the Russians were trying to shoot down an old satellite.
Right.
Supposedly.
So yeah, I did more research about that. Right. This is a little bit side, but apparently, to show like one way a country show that they're the shit or like show a power is that they show that they have the technology to do something, right? So the American will like shoot down satellite, right? But it's not really the satellite that they don't care about. They're showing the world that, hey, we have the potential to shoot anyone down.
Okay.
Like the missile works.
Okay.
Right. So it's the same concept of when America goes and like tests out like missile, somewhere. It's to show a force. It's to show that we can do it. Just don't fucking with this kind of thing. So in the future, Russia is doing this. It's showing not the world that they have the potential to do this. I'm guessing in real life they already have, but anyways. Anyways. Other known facts about the film. I'm not sure if you've seen the trailer, but the trailer has a lot of space sound. And that's not how the film is like. The space sound was actually put in to entice the viewer or the people who's going to go see the film to go watch the film. Yeah, interesting fact.
Just kind of like make it more sci-fi explosion action.
Right. Let's go back with Sandra Bullock performance. So something I also want to point out was that the director Alfonso Cuarón, he is notorious for taking like really long takes. So that means that he like have Sandra Bullock like memorize like a lot of dialogue and like movement for the film. So in a way, she did a good job because in the film she did a great job, and it was a really hard shoot. So, the film itself was supposed to be called Gravity: A Space Adventure in 3D originally. When 3D was hot, now 3D is not. Mm-hmm. So that's why he changed it. He just made it
just Gravity.
Gravity, yeah. And the opening shot, if you're gonna go see the film or you've seen, it was actually an 18-minute opening shot.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I think I saw 13.
Was it 13?
I don't know.
I'm having the 18 for some reason. Anyways, so let's go and talk about what we. Okay, actually, I'll ask a question. How did the film make you feel? And in that way, how did the film? You can talk about how did the film make you feel, while you're watching it, or maybe afterward. You know what I'm talking about?
While I'm watching it?
Yeah, while you're watching it, or maybe after you finish watching it.
Okay.
Like to me, the film, I was sort of on the edge of my seat kind of thing.
Yeah.
Until the ending. So the film made me feel like really like, I wouldn't say tense, but a little bit like it feels like I'm tense up and I'm watching the film. So yeah, how did the film make you feel in general? Like some movie makes you feel like you piss off or something. Were you like pissed off at the end?
No, I wasn't.
No, you weren't?
No, but I mean, I felt the same way. I felt the stress that she was feeling, just floating out there alone in space. I mean, like I was saying earlier, as he kind of went into first person view, you just kind of see through her own eyes and kind of feel what she's feeling. So there was a scene where in the beginning of the movie where she's kind of spinning out of control and floating away from the exploded space station or space shuttle. Mm-hmm. So you see her just kind of spinning, and then you see Earth coming into view, and it spins out of view, and then you see just the blackness of space, and then you see the Earth again. Yeah. So the director does a lot of those type of things, just so that you get a first-person perspective on things, so that you feel like you're in her shoes or in her spacesuit, I guess. You could also hear her breathing hard. Yeah. Like during the first part again, you could feel her struggling as she's grasping for oxygen, since she's running low on oxygen from her tank. So I did feel all that tension all the way through the end of the movie. Seems like there was one obstacle after the other. Right. Until I guess spoiler alert. Yeah, no, it's fine. Until the end. Until the end, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's cool. Yeah, once she stepped onto a sandy beach on Earth. Right. Which is probably in China somewhere, by the way. Yeah, that's when you felt relieved. Okay. Okay. Yeah. That's cool. Let's talk about. So this is the segment where we're gonna talk about problem with the film. Did you have any problem with the film? Like any technical inaccuracy or things like that? Well, I mean, there was a whole flurry of tweets by everyone's favorite scientist, Neil deGrasse Tyson, about some of the scientific inaccuracies. Mm-hmm. Although he said he still enjoyed the movie. Immensely. So, he said he enjoyed the movie immensely. Yeah. So. Yeah. I mean, when I was watching the movie, I wasn't trying to nitpick at all the science. Even though I swear I didn't have time to nitpick. Yeah, I was so engrossed in the film that was just. Yeah, I wasn't. There was no moment in which I was like, you know what, that could have been done better. Yeah. What the hell is the guy doing? Well, okay, maybe one part, but which part? So the one problem I have with the film itself is George Clooney's death. Okay. I understand the movie is about Sandra Bullock and the character herself. It's about her struggle and it's her story. Obviously there's also a backstory to her with the son dying and things like that. But it's essentially her story. I just feel that the death it's so easy, right? I guess to me I understand why he had to die. Like from a film perspective, you have to kill off everyone so that this person can survive on her own. But I'm not comfortable with the idea that like in real space, if this was to happen, I would like try to save him and die together or something like that. No, but it was too easy, man. No, but you gotta let me go. I mean, I understand he's a guy and all, but my God. George Clooney does not know that. No, but I guess they're trying to make it. They're trying to make it so that if he would have pulled her with her if she just held on. By the way, but you wanted to make that more dramatic or more apparent, I guess, or I guess give him a little more thing to do before he died. Because I mean it was kind of like that cliche scene where someone's hanging like let it go kind of thing. Right? Yeah, it's like it reminds me of Titanic or something, Yeah. Yeah, and apparently was it? You said Neil, right? Neil deGrasse Tyson. Yeah, so apparently he did say something that doesn't happen because you can actually when you pull a person in, the other person, like even just a small tug, the other person will float toward you, so you can save him. Because in space there's no like air or anything like that, right? So if I pull you, you can come toward me. If I push you away, we actually push both of us away. So I had a problem with that. I also have a problem with another problem with the film.
I also have a problem with George Clooney coming back to give the speech.
Although that was a dream sequence.
Right. Okay. So it was too. I guess for me, it was too convenient. So I go back in the film. Sandra Bullock, Ryan is sort of dying in a way, and
she's basically resigned to the fact that she's gonna die.
She's gonna die, and she gave all hope, kind of thing, right? Tiny capsule, right? And apparently she hallucinates, or she's running out, or she's in
so basically she shuts down all the systems and she turns off the lights.
Right.
She turns down the oxygen, and she's basically gonna slowly
fade
die
away or something, right?
Yeah.
But in that film, okay, like, I didn't like the part where this is happening, and then she doesn't know what to do. So she's dying. She doesn't know what to do, kind of thing. She's giving up. I just don't like how the fact that George Clooney comes back. It's about a good story. George Clooney comes back, and then he just tells her what to do.
Yeah,
I guess to me, I don't know if that happened in real life. Does that tell you what to do?
It could be her subconscious mind just kind of telling her what to do.
It was just so, but I mean, how do you solve a problem, right? You solve a problem by like trying out new things, not like breaking down and like dying and then.
No, but I mean, I guess it's kind of like when you dream.
Right.
Your mind does all these creative things that you probably wouldn't
subconsciously
think of when you're awake in normal life. So sometimes when you wake up from a dream, you're like, what? How did my mind even come up with that? Right. But I mean, I guess they're kind of playing along those lines. So in her mind, George Clooney's character came back and told her like an alternative solution.
Okay.
So
I do want to ask you, like, when he came back like that, did you thought that he was back? That you thought that, oh my god, he's back?
Yeah, I know. I actually, like I said in the initial podcast, I actually thought that he was alive.
He was alive the whole time?
So I was like, wow, that's pretty cool.
I think to me, if he were to be alive, I think I would have been pissed off about the film.
Yeah.
I think that was just, like, what the hell, dude? It's like a third act, It's one of those, like, Do Machina or whatever, just out of nowhere.
Deus Machina.
Yeah, out of nowhere. Wait, is that how?
No, but that's something else.
That's something else. Sorry. It's just out of nowhere solution to a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so what other issue do you have with the film? Or anything else?
Well, like, I guess, would the Russians really try to fire a missile at a satellite?
Actually, that has to be.
Does that have?
Yeah. Oh, and I also
knowing that there's a space mission happening also, in the same
vicinity.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the case.
I thought that was just kind of weird.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they probably wouldn't they have accounted for the missile maybe blowing up pieces of it and spreading it all around?
Yeah. I also have. Oh, by the way, I want to mention that.
Go.
I also want to mention that that scenario, the whole space debris thing, apparently it can happen.
Yeah, I know.
One chain event.
I know it is a real thing, though.
Yeah, I read somewhere that
there's a lot of space junk.
And if it is happened, then like, apparently we cannot send anything up to space or anything for a long time, for like decades or something like that.
Oh, until everything clears.
Yeah, until everything's clear, which is kind of crazy. Think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were you saying?
One nitpick I would say is, I feel like the whole Sandra Bullock, Ryan backstory is a little forced.
Okay, yeah, me too.
Like the fact that she lost her daughter.
Okay, yeah.
And now she's just kind of
driving.
living. She's just living, but she doesn't really have any sort of drive.
Mm-hmm.
So she's just kind of just walking dead basically on Earth, and then just doing her science thing, and then I guess one of the things she does back at home is she just drives around and
listens to NPR.
Yeah, and listens to NPR
because NPR was the last thing that was on when she died. When she found out.
I guess they have to have some sort of emotional aspect to the film, add maybe some emotional depth to the characters, but it just seemed a little. It seemed a little forced. Like they didn't really talk too much about her daughter or why she
Right.
loved her so much.
Right.
It's just that she meant a lot to her and she couldn't let her go.
Okay.
Although that was kind of the thing that drove her after she kind of finally accepted that her daughter was dead, but her daughter would want her to continue to live and try to get back home to Earth.
Right.
But I thought that whole backstory was a little forced.
Okay. Yeah, I actually agree with you on that. It felt that the movie is so short. You think about it, it's 90 minutes. I think you spend maybe about 10 minutes to develop that story a little bit more. That is probably would have been a little bit better, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Because the only way that they could convey that backstory is just through the dialogue with George Clooney.
Right.
And maybe her talking to herself.
Yeah. I'm gonna nitpick one small detail. Okay. So if Sandra Bullock is a medical person, then why she's in space? Right.
Fixing a
fixing
on a
something.
Hubble telescope.
Okay. Second thing, if Sandra Bullock is having all this emotional problem, like
why is she in space?
Like wouldn't NASA somehow evaluate her? I'm sure NASA.
I'm sure they do.
They do physical and emotional evaluation, right?
Yeah.
So before spending a person in space, then you do all this evaluation and you see if she's fit or not.
Yeah.
You know, I figured NASA would have picked that up somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although, I don't know. It seems like she's maybe just repressing it.
Right.
So she's still able to function at a high level. It's
Right.
just that she has this emotional baggage that she's just kind of hiding back there.
Right. I want to talk about the ending of it a little bit. But by the way, when I say the movie is on the edge of the seat, it's into the very ending, right? So near the ending, so her capsule, right? I think space capsule.
Yeah. So after all the ordeal of space and then
Right.
finally getting into the capsule that would finally re-enter Earth.
Right, which is a good scene, I guess. It happened.
Yeah.
So she landed in water, right?
Uh-huh.
And when I say edge of the seat, I mean I wasn't kidding, because at the end, like she's swimming her suit, right? And she's like, oh my god, she's down, she's swimming her suit to go up. The capsule like sink.
Yeah. I mean
And then I'm like, oh my god, she's gonna die.
I thought that the movie was already finished.
Right.
Once it entered and once it kind of landed into the ocean.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, okay, the movie's done.
Right.
Cool. And then it wasn't over yet.
Yeah. She had to get out of the spacesuit.
Yeah, she had to open the door, and then once she opened the door, all the water rushed in. So,
Right.
The capsule was being drowned, so she had to
Get
escape out of it.
And not only that, when she's trying to swim on top, to the surface, she can't because her suit was
It was too
heavy, right? And then she had to take out everything, and
Yeah.
I swear she must have held her breath for like 3 minutes or something, right?
Yeah, and I thought, okay, are they gonna throw in sharks or something?
Yeah, bring in like all the sharks, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so the problem, one last problem, and I mentioned this, and you don't have to agree with me on this. You can disagree with this one, and it looks like you did. And I mentioned it at the review, preliminary review, was that. So she's crawling, right, to shore, pretty much, and she sort of stand up and is triumphantly, I'm returning from space. I have an awesome story to tell. But then there's a shot of like mud on her boobs, and I admire the shot, everything else about it. But then like my eye can't keep looking at it. I'm like, why is this shot has to be on there? Why is that has to be on there? Anyways, that's maybe one of my small nitpick of the film.
You just like looking at boobs.
No, I don't look at boobs. Oh my god, first episode of Gravity Film
And
reviews, and
we've
we're talking about
degraded
boobs.
to boobs.
Oh my god.
This is the kind of show we're gonna be putting on.
No, man, we're not, dude. We're sweating out. What else is there? Oh, the film. I should mention that you remember the fire extinguisher film, the fire extinguisher
being used
as a propelling
propeller.
Yeah, that was actually from a NASA. That idea came from a NASA person.
Okay.
Yeah. which is out there.
So
I'm not sure although it would work though.
I think I saw one of Neil deGrasse Tyson's tweet, and he said that actually does work.
Oh, interesting. That would work.
Yeah, so
okay,
that's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool that it would work. Now we know that in space you can do that.
Yeah,
I guess.
Next time I'm in space, I'm gonna remember that.
Yeah, and if everything crashed down, and which is high probability.
Also use the landing gear, just in
use
case.
Yeah, right. Meaning of the film. When you were watching it, do you have any after analyzing the film? Was there a meaning or anything like that to the film? Perseverance.
Yeah, I guess there's a couple themes. One is just the loneliness of space.
Okay.
Yeah, like when I guess it kind of gives you a perspective on like the whole space thing.
Okay.
Space is just huge, and we're just like these tiny creatures.
Right.
And Earth is our home.
Right.
So you get that feeling of isolation during the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like what would it feel like if you were just disconnected from the rest of the world? Even though you have a whole view of the world right there, you're still disconnected.
Okay.
I thought that was one of the themes.
Okay. Definitely the other one of the other themes about the film is death and rebirth kind of thing. I mean, death because it's shown in so many scenes. There was that shot when I told you I was going to come back to it. That shot with the whole Sandra Bullock taking off her spacesuit and she's in the fetal position. That was meant to be like, in a way, birth. I guess. And then
she was kind of like a baby.
Yeah, and near the end when she walked out of, onto the beach, she's standing tall, and that's like her rebirth, So I thought that was cool, and the death of the daughter too. So yeah, a very, very, very personal, very cool film. I enjoyed. So, a few more questions. Oscar, do you think this movie will? I don't know, be in the Oscars for running or anything like that?
I think it will be.
For what?
Best Picture.
Best Picture, okay.
Best Actress.
Best
leading
Actress.
actress.
What about Best Actor? No.
I don't know, because he played such
a small role, right?
He was in it for maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah.
20, 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you saw, like, the charming George Clooney.
Yeah, he plays himself, Okay, I can't say himself, but he plays his typical character.
Yeah, I kept thinking of Buzz Lightyear for some reason.
I kept thinking of like Ocean's 13 or Ocean series, like easygoing, hey, always in control kind of guy, right?
Yeah. I mean, he played his part well too.
Yeah.
Like he was always he was confident. He was coaching Ryan through the whole ordeal, even though he was under the same pressure.
Yeah. What do you think it'll win? Cinematography or music or sound or anything like that?
I think so. But
you win?
I don't know. I mean, what other movies are there that
close?
Rival? Yeah.
Well, there's a lot that's coming out. The Hobbit Part 2 coming out. My prediction is that Sandra Bullock will get a nod for Best Actor, Best Actress. Sorry.
Do you think you don't think she'll win though?
It's gonna be close. I don't think she'll win.
I mean, it does set her up though, because it was basically her own movie.
Yeah, it does. The film itself does set her up.
But I'm not sure.
It's just a short film, that's why.
Yeah.
Second thing is, I think Cuarón, the director, will be nominated, but I don't think he'll win. Maybe he'll win. I don't know. 50-50 probably. The film definitely will be nominated for Best Picture.
Do sci-fi movies? Is this even considered sci-fi?
It's weird. It's supposed to be, right? I guess science is like realism. Science is in there, but it's supposed to be a sci-fi.
But you don't have like
world building,
and explosions.
Right,
well,
like
you do have explosions, but
but it's not like Oblivion or anything like that. It's like you build this old world kind of thing, right?
Yeah. But normally these kind of movies, they don't really get as much praise as they deserve.
Right.
But we'll see. Some of the reviews I've been reading, they compare it to 2001: A Space Odyssey. I'm like,
Is
That's
it?
a little too far, but I mean, it's a
good.
great movie, but I don't know if it's like.
Yeah.
I mean, it's maybe almost masterpiece. Maybe a few years we'll see.
Yeah.
I think it's probably too early to declare it as such.
Yeah. I also think that cinematography, there'll be a nod, guarantee. I think it's gonna win sound creation. Only because it's just the amount of work that they put in just to create the sound in space. It's just amazing. I think that's gonna win that. Original script, if it's going with Best Picture, then there'll be probably a nod. Not gonna win, I don't think.
Screenplay, you mean?
Oh yeah, screenplay.
Yeah.
Sorry. So I think that's it. Yeah. Anything else we want to talk about? I think we're almost there. Oh, last thing. Do you recommend the film?
Definitely.
Definitely A+. Go see it. Go see it in IMAX 3D. Like right now.
Only in 3D.
Only in 3D. This is one of those films that you gotta watch in 3D.
It's the first film that I've seen where I feel like 3D is actually worth it. Like,
Right.
I wouldn't recommend it in 2D at all.
Right.
Or not on your iPad.
Yeah, definitely not on the iPad or the iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely in 3D, and you should see it now because it's out in theater.
Unless you have a 3D TV or something.
Nah.
Yeah, you need to watch it on a big screen.
Right.
In the dark.
And if possible, a Movie Pass. You know, shouting out for Movie Pass. So get a sponsor us. What? Anyways, yeah. So that is. Anything else you want to talk about the film before we wrap it up? No, we're good to go.
We're good to go.
So that is the first episode of Gravity. I'm sorry, the first episode of our podcast called Gravity Film. We are reviewing.
To be determined.
To be determined. The title is to be determined, but we just review Gravity. Mark liked it. I liked it. I give it a thumbs up. Highly recommended film.
Best film of the year.
Probably best film of the year. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
I so far best film of the year.
I don't see any other film challenging what The Hobbit too.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah. So for this whole podcasting, we are trying to do it weekly. Mark, where can they find you if they have any questions or things like that?
You could find me on Twitter at MarkGX.
Okay. And you can find me on Twitter also at Navxela. That's Navxela. It's actually Alex Van backward. We'll probably create a Gravity Film Twitter account or something like that. Whenever we decide the title.
Yeah.
What do we review next time? Oh, this is a weekly thing, so we're probably gonna watch the film, like a new movie every Thursday or Friday, and we're gonna like review it like sometime afterward. It's available, will be on our website, which we will create soon, and it will be also available on podcast world.
Yep.
I think that's it. Let's wrap it up for this week. Again, this is Alex
and Mark,
and we are out.